Hello, my good people. How on a day? See, here we have something very interesting for you in this video. See, I want to tell you something. Igbos are not happy about the detention of our onion Dumazen and the count for over 1 year now. And I know if you are in Nigeria, you would like to speak up, right? And it's not really speaking up because this government will just take you up and they will just lock you up. So I really understand why some people aren't speaking up, especially those who are in the top, ladder of the society. And but in this video, one of us has spoken up, very bold, very courageous, calling out, the mess in this government as it is, right, without being afraid. This video is a very interesting one. I will be bringing it to you shortly, right? But before we do that, this is IPOB Media. In case you're new to this channel, yes, this is the place where we bring you the gospel of Biafra. Yes, the only channel where you get the latest legit news, information, updates, trends, events, happenings, and everything you need to know about Biafra and our struggle for freedom. Yes, we encourage you to share this video, right? Share on all your social media platforms so that our fellow Biafran brothers and sisters get to know what is going on. And click the subscribe button and the notification button as well, so you don't get to miss out on any of our interesting videos as we bring them on daily basis. And we encourage you to share your thoughts in the comment section. Let us know what you think. Share your opinions, and I will be right there replying to every of your comments. And give this video a thumbs up. All right, my people, let us get straight into this video. Our brother Goddy has come out to, speak, doesn't talk face to face boldly against the mess these people are doing, right? He's calling it as it is, and he's not afraid. He even said it there in the video, like he's not afraid of anything, right? I want you to watch this video. It's very interesting. Watch it to the very end, and I'll be right back.
It's never too late to say the truth. Even at the point of death, you're encouraged to say the truth. And after saying the truth, you can die. Let me put it this way. Anybody who keeps silent in the face of oppression, in the face of injustice, deserves the worst part of hell. Professor Saludo, Professor Tommy, they have spoken. And we're very happy. They have added their voices. The governors have spoken. We're happy. I am speaking. I also encourage other people to speak. Not just Igbos, but people from all parts of Nigeria. If people speak and you charge them with treason, then what are you setting up? You know that system of government where only the governor is right, only the president is right, and anybody says anything contrary becomes the enemy of the state.
How soon do you expect him to be released?
One, it depends on the Honorable Attorney General and Minister of Justice. I remember at the National Conference, of which I proud to say I was a member, we said that position should be separated. Attorney General of the people should not be answerable to the President. He should be answerable to the people, the Minister of Justice. So I expect our Honorable Attorney General and Minister of Justice to do the needful, to do what is right. I advise Mr. President that this treasonable charge or this treasonable trial will do you no good.
But can we say he hasn't done that?
Well, I don't think he has done that, because when a man speaks from his heart, if at heart you're a tyrant, you can't pretend much. For how long? If you are a judge and you are trying this kind of case and you accept secret trial, unprecedented since 1999, Al Mustafa did not undergo secret trial, remember? Rogers spoke and all of us saw him. When finally Court of Appeal said, go home, we all saw it. Now it is this young boy who has no weapon, who has no armored car, no AK-47, who is being tried. Meanwhile, headsmen, Fulani headsmen are all over the place, killing people daily.
But what if, in considering this matter, and because some of the clips that they've seen about himself and those who are undergoing this trial, they seem not to be flinching in their resolve to stick with their agitation. So how do they reconcile it if they say, look, because you have said don't give a condition, but we can't guarantee that that will not pop up. If they say, okay, well, could you go ahead with this, but in a different manner, such that your messages will not be that provocative to the country, adopt a different approach, a more peaceful approach, and who knows?
Well, the position of Ohaneze has always been peaceful agitation. And if you go and check clip after clip, the only weapon of this young man and people like him is either their word of mouth or their fist. They do like this.
But if you have messages that are inciting, can you consider
such
that
as
peaceful?
what? Have they ever said, go and kill Mr. President? That's treason. Have they ever asked anybody to kill another person? That would be an incitement to murder. They don't do that. You see young girls of 18 years, young boys of 20 years doing, we want freedom, we want freedom.
Not
but
even in an entity like our country who is united, that is united, and then they're calling for a sovereign state of Biafra, a country inside a country?
Well, have you even asked why there is this agitation? There is this agitation because there is a glass ceiling. If you're an Igbo young man and you're in government or in the uniform services, you have first class, you have second class upper, you have tutu, you enter. After some time, you start marking time. Those who entered with you will suddenly climb, and you'll be seeing them through a glass ceiling, and you cannot enter. It is the injustice, and we made this point when Obasanjo was in power. Joe Iruku was the president of Ohaneze then. A delegation had a meeting with then DSS chief, Colonel Are. It is this injustice. Try to correct it. Now look at the appointments made last Friday. Did you see any Igbo person there? Except one Dr. Ngozi representing a ministry.
Perhaps you don't want a Biafra, perhaps you want the presidency to come from...
No, you didn't hear me when I said injustice that led to agitation. And now remember we're talking of restructuring. When you restructure, the first thing you put on the front burner is level playing ground. It is this absence of level playing ground that led people like Nnamdi and others. So we're not even born during the war to ask what is going on. Agitation for Biafra is always in the heart. But how it's done is what we're talking about.
But is this just, this injustice, is it just about the Igbos, or you see this because when people speak about education and the ELD estate, it's not just the Igbos. It happens to a lot of other people who are not in that bracket of the educationally less developed states. And people have called for us to have a second look at that. So is it just the Igbos, or it is that structure that affects the entire country?
No, it affects everybody. Injustice is there. But some people benefit, others do not benefit. Let me just give you some clear-cut examples. All the parastatals under the Ministry of Internal Affairs, who are their heads? Minister of Information released last week. Who are they? I begin to ask myself, at a point you begin to mark time. You're in the police, you have up to 3 or 4 degrees, you are Assistant Commissioner of Police, you are Met, who have only 1 degree, already AIGs. And you think your own son will be happy to see that situation?
So if those were addressed headlong, will there still be need for this freedom or agitation?
Now that is the question. If we are allowed to willingly form a country called Nigeria, the Yorubas will not be talking of Odua Republic. We will not be talking of Odudua. Hausa Fulani will not be talking of Arewa. Igbos may not be talking of this. So as it is today, let us have a restructuring, get together. If we are going to be one, let us discuss it. If we are not going to be one, let us part peacefully. But as for the rights to form a country of your own, it's an inborn right. The United Nations took cognizance of that. It's not the first. So Scotland is asking for another referendum, remember, in less than 1 year. Barcelona, most Barca fans know it, but they don't know the geographical problem there. The Catalans, they've been asking for right to move. What of East Timor? It moved at the cost of a lot of blood. So it's always there. It's a natural thing. United States, for all these almost 300 years of existence, what are they doing?
Okay,
those in the South are also asking.
Okay, that the call is a different matter, but the reasons also differ from those specific examples. But about this one, could we then say that this agitation for states within a state is perhaps embedded in saying what would rather, or if, as I did ask earlier, if they address, or if we have a proper federal system, would there be any need for
there is a proper federal system?
Yes, because some governors, I heard some governors say, look, what we have is a federal system on paper, but in practice it's a unitary system. So perhaps predicating it on that, as you know, without considering that's the case. If they then say, all right, we'll address this question about what happens to our federalism, will this call still be necessary?
Which is called state autonomy, which is called regional autonomy. In other words, all of us are different. We develop at our different paces in our own way, but we also have one center. In simple language, devolution of powers. Reduce the powers of the center, increase the powers of the regions or of the states, and see what will happen.
So shouldn't that be the call? Because it's not going to be easy just saying, yes, we want to stay within the state, because it happens to every part of this country. People have intermarried, cultures, traditions are entwined. It's not as easy, as straightforward as people think.
It is not easy, but it is doable. Now, people have been asking me, does it mean that if we have Biafra now, all the Igbos like me will leave Lagos? I said, no. That is not the same thing.
Then there's really no need to have it.
No, hold on. Brexit does not mean that Britain will leave Europe. Remember, it's a different thing altogether.
But you'll have people who will tell you, well, since you have Biafra, go to Biafra.
Those ones are uninformed. But now listen. One thing we are all calling for is restructuring. At the national conference, we dealt with this thing deeply. And it is very sad that Mr. President said, I have not read it and I will not read it. The solution is there, but he will not read it. So let it be there. And so the agitations have been going on. Now let me ask you, why do you think this judge will be embarking on secret trial? Unprecedented? The former judge, Justice Nia Ademola, said, let him go. And the DSS descended on him immediately. And you think all these boys are not watching? Tomorrow you come and tell them a story? See, treason, Wolosho, can remember. They went for him. They went for Awolowo. When you talk, they go after you. Must we all stop talking?
Mr. Goddy Wazuruke is a legal practitioner and the former president of Ake Kenga. Thank you for talking to us this morning.
Thank you very much.
Yes, so you've heard from our brother Goddy Wazuruke, who is also a lawyer, right? And he has spoken quite well, right? Calling a spade and calling out this government. All right, let us see your thoughts in the comment section. Share your opinion, share your views, tell us what you think, right? And please, if you're criticizing, do so in a respectable manner, as this is a peaceful community. And yes, if you've not yet subscribed to this channel, please do well to subscribe. Click on the notification bell so you don't get to miss out on any of our videos, and don't forget to share on all your social media platforms. Thank you very much as you do so. God bless.